What is up, guys? In today's video I will be showing you how to basically make melodies in FL Studio without knowing any music theory at all. I hope you know already how to use FL Studio. If you don't know, there's like different tutorials and whatnot. If you want to just learn shortcuts in FL Studio, F7 is basically this piano roll, F6 is channel rack, F9 is mixer slash master, F8 is just plugins. You can see we're just gonna need piano roll for now. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna open channel rack, and you just wanna you know undo all of these things. I'm gonna just delete them. Also, I'm on a laptop, so this is just a complete torture for me, but I don't have no mouse, but that's all right. Okay, when you have nothing in your channel rack, or you go into packs, then instruments, then keyboard, and just choose whatever you want. I personally like grand piano because it sounds like a piano. Now you click F7, you go into piano roll. It should say right here, it should say piano roll, grand piano. If it says like sampler or maybe even kicks or whatnot, you don't want that. You want grand piano. Also, when you point your cursor anywhere on your screen, over here is just gonna show what is the name of that hint panel. So this is piano roll options. You click that, you click view, and then you click scale highlight. This is just as you can see, root notes and scale. And if you want, like, preferably just use normal major or minor. For major, this is the first one, I can read this, but for minor, use minor natural. I'm gonna be using minor for now. So when you do this, you don't want to just click with left click, is just gonna leave. What you want to do, if you just don't want to open this again, view, scale, highlight, you can just I'm gonna use F sharp. You can just right click and it's gonna still stay in here. So I'm gonna use F sharp minor. Okay, you can close this. And now root note in F sharp is F sharp 4. So I'm just gonna click, boom. But before, you just want to set your BPM. I'm gonna set my BPM to 140. So yeah, it should automatically just snap to these little lines. Basically, one more thing to say, this is very important. As you can see, some of these are lighter than these ones that are darker. What that means is I picked F sharp minor, and when you pick a certain G sharp major, it's always gonna be different, and you always want to use these lighter ones. You do not want to use these darker ones. Always lighter. I'm gonna just explain you major and minor for a second. So basically, minor chord. Okay, root note, and then minor chord goes one space, two space, and then on the third space you put a note, and then one space, second space, third space, and then on the fourth space goes another note. This is a minor. But if you want a major, you just want to put your note up, but I just can't do that on this certain one because this one is on the darker. Major is root note, and first three steps, three spaces are left, and then on the fourth space is a note, and then two spaces, and on the third space is a note. But minor is just reverse. I'm gonna put a screen somewhere like over here. So yeah, we're gonna start with F sharp 4. Put a note always on here on the lighter ones, highlighted, whatever you want to call it, and this is what it sounds like. Okay. Also, what we're gonna want, make wider and pull it towards here, so it's to make the note longer a little bit. Okay, bet. And now what you want to do, you just want to set your root notes, which are obviously as lowest notes in your chord, and do not forget them. And I'm gonna show you how to really not forget them. Basically, you just click on literally any. Okay, I'm gonna put one here, right here, right here, and right here. Again, it has to be in the highlighted notes, and just do the same trick I showed you minor and major. Now for some people, let's say I want to use minor here. Okay, let's go. One space, two space, three space. Okay, I cannot really use minor here because it's now the highlighted. So just make a major chord. It doesn't really matter. One, two, three on the highlighted. One, two, and on the third one. So this is a major chord. See? Then, you do the same thing. One, two, three, four. One, two, three. Okay, bet. And we got this. One thing that I really don't like is if you don't like how you set your chords, you can obviously click Control and check these and just move them up a little bit. But once you move them, you have to remember always keep it on the highlighted. So this one's on the highlighted, this one is on the highlighted, but this one is not. Basically, we're gonna have to change it up a little bit. So we're gonna put root note right here, like this. One, two, three, four. One, two, three. Okay, so this is what we got. I kind of like that. Now, let me get back to the thing I said earlier. You want to really remember your root notes. And how do you remember your root notes? You just want to check every single root note right now and click Control Shift and just click. You want to Control C, Control V to copy it, and just click Control and down arrow to move it down an octave. This is basically gonna set the bass notes. Like, listen. That's gonna set the bass notes, and it's really gonna make you remember which one it is. And why do I say that? Because now when I have this, it just sounds kind of boring. It sounds kind of boring. So this is what you want to do, just to make your thing a little bit more exciting, or whatever you want to say. So I'm use let's say this note. Well, no, I'm gonna use this one. You just click it, you check it, and then Control arrow upwards. This is gonna obviously move it up an octave, and this is just gonna sound a little bit different. So this is basically gonna make your stuff a little bit better. Also, I'm gonna use the same technique with this note. So check it, Control arrow upwards, and see what we got. Perfect. Now we just want to make a little melody. And now how do we do that? Simple as this. Do what your mind tells you to do, but always follow highlighted notes. For example, and always, what you should keep in mind on is these, you see how it snaps like this? See how it makes it longer? You just want to, experiment. And I'm just going to experiment and see what I get. Experiment a little. I don't really like this. What if I just move it down a little bit because it's too high? I still don't like it. Hold on. I'll make it like a little bit like this. Okay, I got it. And also one thing that is just, if you want to make a simple melody, you want to have your first, I really don't know what is this called, so please don't really get angry at me or something. I don't know what is this called, but you want to have the first one and the third part really the same, so I'm just gonna make it same. And now on these ones, you just wanna make it similar on the second and the fourth one. Wanna make it similar, but just make it a little bit different. I'm gonna use the same first note. Let me just listen. Then, 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 then. I'm gonna copy this. And then see how it goes. Dun 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 dun. I'll make dun 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 dun. So like that, something like that. And I just experiment with your stuff. Also, I don't know why is it this short. Dun 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 dun. Like this. And I'm gonna just put or is it better if I make it higher? Let's check it. Let's check it. Always experiment with your stuff. It's always better to experiment. And I'm just gonna, make this. Melodies are really easy. You just have to let your mind do the thing, and it's gonna be always perfect. If you follow the steps, it's gonna be perfect. See, I told you, it's good. It sounds good. Only thing that it needs, it's mixing. Now, you can add your mixes, but mixing is for another episode. What you can do, you can, add reverb, a little bit reverb. You can, get the paramedic EQ. I'm just doing some simple stuff, nothing too much, to be honest. I'm telling you. And yeah, that's basically it. Nothing really too complicated. You can, experiment a little bit more with your melodies. But from this, to make the simplest as you can, but sound good at the same time. As you can see, always, make 4 chords, get the root notes, original root notes, put them down an octave, and make a melody on these highlighted notes. And that's basically it. That's as simple as it gets. And yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. And, I'm going to see you in the next video. Peace out.